it's not so much your ability, it's what other people make you do.
Sure.
You know.
And as much as I'm fucking with you a little bit on this,
Yes.
I will tell you, I had a motorcycle for...
I remember you telling us about your motorcycle experiences.
I had some crazy experiences, but I almost always wore hat or helmet with a visor and gloves, at least fingerless gloves, but some semblance of gloves, and most of the time my leather jacket, just for that. And you ain't lying about that road rash, dude. I know I put my bike down one time. One time I was riding and I put it down and I slid a good distance away from the bike. Like I fell and I skidded across the road, and the sleeve of my leather jacket got about halfway like it tore through on the one side, but I didn't get cut. So yeah, as much as I'm giving you a little bit of shit about it, don't listen to me and go out there with a pair of sunglasses on. That's just dumb.
I know better than that. But regardless of that, I do see these people who are out there on the bike and they're wearing shorts and flip flops, and it's like, man, you just lose it on a corner, or somebody pulls out too quick in front of you, or whatever it is, and you lay that bike down, you are fucking toast.
Well, and even if you don't, dude, I may have told this story on the air. I may not have. I don't know. My senior, like literally when I graduated high school, I was dating this girl named Chris Chudzinski, and I rode over to Chris's house, and I was drunk as fuck. I ain't gonna lie. I was pretty drunk, but I rode the motorcycle over to her house and I picked her up, and she was wearing a pair of flip-flops and a pair of shorts and a tank top. And I was just picking her up to go to whatever graduation parties or whatever we were going to. And I picked her up. I started down the road. Immediately, I see a cop behind me flip his lights on. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so going to jail, right? So I gun. Take off, gunning it, right? I'm gunning. The cops are going to catch me. So what do? In my brilliance, I'm like, jump off. And I'm telling her to jump off the bike. And she's like, stop, and I'll get off. Stop, and I'll get off. And I slowed down to about maybe 30 miles an hour, and I pushed her off.
What? You pushed her off at 30 miles an hour? Holy shit.
I was drunk. I'm not gonna tell any stories out of turn here.
So what was the reason they were coming after you? Was because she was,
who knows? Because it was graduation night, and here was a obviously young kid on a motorcycle.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't you drew their attention aside from that. Not
necessarily, but I pushed her off. And I gunned it. Boom, took off, right?
And what happened to her?
Well,
did she fall?
I'll get to it.
All right.
So I took off, and my bike was not huge, wasn't as big as yours. I just had a little 550. So I gunned it, and I cut right through like a yard. I just turned it sideways and cut through a yard and cut away so the police couldn't get me. And I swung my ass back around 5 minutes later to try and find her, make sure she's okay. And she was pretty banged up. I mean, she took quite a beating. She landed in a ditch, but
I'm surprised she even talked to you ever again.
Well, she didn't for long. But but the one thing that came out of it, and man, I thought her dad was going to literally shoot me. Her dad, because I brought her home, and she was completely beat up, and I just remember her dad. He had a rifle, this is the old days, 86. Right. Remember back in the old days, people that hunted used to put their rifles like in their living room on like a stand or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. It's just a rifle rack.
Yeah, just a rack. Well, he had 2 or 3 because he was a big gun guy.
Right.
And he just kept staring at the guns. As I was telling him, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to accidentally bump her off the bike. But the one thing that was, and it's still, I ran into her maybe 7-8 years ago at this point, but she has a scar on the calf muscle that almost wraps from one side to the middle, which is where when I pushed her leg kicked back and rolled onto the like rolled as she fell off the bike onto the exhaust pipe and just burnt the living shit out of her leg. And I mean, she still has she showed me the scar when I saw her 7-8 years ago. She's like, look, you did this to me.